Welcome to another episode of From My Mother's Basement, the show where we talk about everything nerd, anime, sci-fi, comics, games, you name it. I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
And it's been a very interesting week for, in terms of news and movies and just in general.
There's been a lot of really cool stuff that happened
this week.
There's been some kind of scary stuff that happened this week, too. But we'll get to that. And, before we start, I do want to say there is one sad thing that happened today, actually. What was his name? I gotta go find it really quick. Hang on. I want to say Larry Nelson. Let me verify.
Yeah, it was very sad. Michael informed me only about an hour ago about it, and I was like, part of childhood, gone.
Yes, as one of the original members of the Sesame Street generation, it is my sad duty to inform you that the original voice, hang on, I'm pulling it up right now. I don't know why I couldn't remember his name, because I'm an idiot. There it is. Jerry Nelson, not Larry Nelson.
Jerry Nelson.
Jerry Nelson, who was the original puppeteer and voice for the Count on Sesame Street, passed away.
Sad day.
Very sad day, because like I said, I'm one of the original Sesame Street generation. I grew up with this, and a great many other people have too. So it's really sad. And Jerry, farewell. We're going to miss you. We're all going to miss you.
Yes.
Moving on from that.
Well, talking about destroyed childhoods.
Oh yes.
Why did they? I don't know. It's too early for me to give an actual. Impression about this.
Guess who's behind it, though?
I know, it's Seth Green.
Okay. So, do you want to start this one off?
Yeah, sure. So
go for it.
A lot of people are wondering what Seth Green's going to do next after Robot Chicken. And now we know. The Facebook page went up, a trailer and 3 clips of his brand new show went on YouTube and live today. It's called Star Wars Detours, and it basically takes... think from Robot Chicken, all the Star Wars episodes, all those little clips that they used to put together, throw them in a full show, throw it in like some horribly like super deformed CG characters,
but high quality CG.
High quality, I'll give it. It's high quality.
I'm wondering if it's the same team who did Clone Wars, just with different model sets.
Maybe it could.
It's lit the same.
It is, but so they take that, and then they kind of dumbed down a little bit in terms of the jokes, just for the sole fact this is going to be streamed on Cartoon Network, not on Adult Swim.
I was going to say I don't think that it's dumbed down so much as toned down.
Okay, toned down. Okay, that's a better word to use. Yes, but let's just show the 3.5 minute trailer, and we'll talk about it afterwards. Yeah. Yeah. So. You're still muted, Michael.
Yes, I am. Okay. It's kind of hit and miss, but I think it's got some pretty funny bits in there. I think toning it down to G or even PG kind of takes a little bit away.
It really does. There were some scenes, especially when they started making jokes at itself, like the whole matte painting thing. I really enjoy that. I love stuff like that. That's stuff you would normally expect in Robot Chicken episodes of Star Wars.
Right. Or Nothing says vacation over quite like seeing you again. That was pretty good.
So, yeah. Now there are 3 clips from the show out on YouTube. You can go search them and find them. They're all like the trailer, hit and miss. There's some funny parts in them. One of the clips is Han Solo and Chewbacca fighting like a married couple, and one like threatens to leave and whatnot, and one follows him in the Millennium Falcon and like, come on honey, come back to the ship. And
oh god, that kind of reminds me of this one scene from Harvey Birdman when they spoofed Race Bannon and Dr. Quest.
Yes.
And I'm taking the kids, Ben. Taking the boys. It's hit and miss. It looks like it's going to have some funny bits. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it, but the Star Wars nerd in me is kind of happy with it, especially with the little bits here and there. The one robot ball thing punching Greedo in the face multiple times was pretty funny.
Yes.
The dance sequence was hilarious.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, it'll be coming out eventually, and given the fact that it has a pretty decent cast and crew behind it, it should do fairly well.
I hope so. I mean, hopefully they'll find. I hope they'll find their mark sooner than we have.
Yes, very much so.
There's a lot of potential there. There's potential for this to be a really cool show and to be a lot of fun. But there's also just as much potential for it to piss off a butt ton of throat beard fanboys.
And it already has. Like,
I know a couple that are going to spaz the F out.
Yeah, if you look online, it's very much split. Like, the initial reaction is, what the hell with this? Lucas, you're once again raping my childhood. And then you keep on watching a couple more times. Like, I've watched that trailer, I'd probably say about a good 6 times today. And it's slowly starting to grow on me.
Yeah.
Like, it takes that, once you get past the initial shock of, what the hell is this?
Which is hilarious in and of itself.
True. Well, my first opinion about it was, screw you, I'm not going to like this. And then I started watching more of it to give it another shot, and I slowly started to warm up to it, so.
Yeah, once I figured out who some of the voices were, I'm like, holy crap, this is the same people from Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm also one of these people that, I'm willing to poke fun at damn near anything. I believe that sacred cows taste fantastic with ketchup.
Good point,
so,
yes.
I hold very little sacred or sacrosanct from humor. I may find jokes tasteless, but I don't have a problem with people making fun of some stuff. Most stuff.
Okay. Fair enough.
But leading from that kind of segues into something else cool that happened this week, which was the first episode of the 3rd season of Face Off on Sci-Fi Channel. The big challenge this year, or this episode rather, was Star Wars themed. The participants were all, for those of you who don't know what Face Off is, let's go there. Face Off is a show on Sci-Fi where they get makeup artists, aspiring and active, and they give them a challenge each. It's kind of like Project Runway for special effects makeup artists. Yeah. And in fact, that's pretty much exactly what it is. But this week, their challenge was to create characters, custom characters, for a modern take on the Star Wars Cantina. And the various characters you had, go ahead and hold that one for a second.
Yep.
There's the characters that came out of it. And there were some really good ones in there. There was one that was absolute crap. And the reason it was absolute crap is all to one guy who was a drama whore who, thank the gods, threw a tizzy fit and walked off. But the two best in it, I think the judges could have gone either way. Okay, that was one of them. That's not bad, but that's not the one I was looking for.
I'm just going to go through them all, so.
Okay, I'll tell you when to pause. Actually, you know when to pause. Mm-hmm. So that's the judges examining it.
Now, how long do they have to make these outfits?
3 days. They put these things together in 3 days. Okay, stop there. This is one of the top 2. This one was done by, what they did is they pulled them into random teams, and this team was a pair of women who are self-confessed Star Wars geeks, hardcore Star Wars geeks. They not only built this character, did the paint job. I mean, the paint job on her is, you can't tell from this picture, but it's the paint job on this makeup and the prosthetics is fantastic. Mm-hmm. They gave her a backstory. She's, the idea being that she was a warrior from Dagobah, which is why she's got the breathing unit, who's on Tatooine for some reason or other. What you can't see in this picture, she also originally had a cloak to protect her from the elements. I mean, there was a full story going on with this character.
Proof that they're actual fans of this.
Oh yeah, series. I mean, they put a ton of thought into this, and you could tell it was very much, for these girls, it was a labor of love. I mean, they were like, oh hell yes, let's do this. The next one was the other one, And this is the one that the judges ended up going with because they have to pick one, and both of these were really good. What's incredible about this one is they built this from nothing in 3 days. That one guy focused on the fabrication of the quote unquote armor walker suit. The other guy focused on the body and melding that in with the face and did the paint job on the body. So it's this little guy being run around in this walker, all worn by one guy. These guys did fantastic work in these two pieces, and I was blown away from it. And of course, the Star Wars nerd in me was like, "Yay!" So that was just really damn cool.
Yeah, I wish they would do more stuff like that.
They are.
Oh, really?
They're coming out with a new show called Hot Set, which is the same formula, only it's set designers.
Ooh, that has potential.
Where they've got I don't know the detail. They've only been running commercials for it. It's like, damn you, Sci-Fi, you're finally coming up with a reality show that I'll watch. Because I know a lot of people, my fiance included, love Project Runway. I've learned a lot. I've watched it. It's okay, but I'm not willing to obsess on it. Face Off and this new Hot Set show has a lot of potential to, like, oh my God, it's about something I care about. So I kind of want to watch it. Hot Set is basically, they're given a challenge to create this set to be used, and they've got X amount of time to do it. Okay. I don't know what that time is. If they're trying to get these people to build a set in 3 days, they
better have a massive crew behind each team.
Yeah, they've got to give them at least a week, I would figure.
Yeah,
because there's just no way you can build. Given some of the preview sets I saw, and the commercials, they showed one set that looked like it was right out of Alien.
Nice,
like complete with. They showed a guy rappelling into it.
Really?
And it's like, oh yeah, and I'm like going, there's no way in hell that got built in 3 days.
Oh no, you've got enough money at anything, you can do it.
Enough money and bodies, yeah. So, but that's looking like it's got a lot of potential.
Should we continue on with the movie news? There's a lot of movie news today. Or should we jump to something else?
Oh, then they need to combine the two. Very good idea, Blue. Very good idea. There's a Bender R2-D2 figure? No, I haven't seen that one.
Let's jump to some video game news.
Okay.
It kind of has to deal with some anime and video games, which is awesome, and conventions. To be precise, Otakon.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this. Yeah. Okay.
Otakon, they are the second largest anime convention in the United States, second and only to Anime Expo right now. They have done a lot of cool things throughout the years. 20 years with them, I think.
Yeah, they're about to hit their 20.
They're about their 20. Yeah. They've always done some cool things like, oh, hey, we have a custom intro for the convention. I
think they've done a couple of them. They've done a couple custom anime.
They'll hire a production company from Japan to make a 3-minute clip for them.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff. They're going to take that to the next level now. They're going to make their own video game. It's called Crisis Heart Brawlers Clash at Otakon. Yeah. This is going to be an official beat-em-up video game with a collaboration with Studio Nasu. And it just looks cool. It looks fun.
It's definitely a niche product.
It is definitely a niche product, yes.
Although it's kind of fun the way to see the Jim Vowles as the evil Dr. V. Okay, that picture was kind of amusing.
Well, they actually... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that they need fans' help to actually make this a reality.
Yeah, they've got a Kickstarter for it.
They have a decent amount of people to back it on the production side and on the voice actor side. But, to actually create the actual game itself, they need some help with that. So they created a Kickstarter, and they have about a 1.5-minute video to go along to give you a taste of what to expect if this goes through.
Ooh,
which I have no doubts in my mind that it's going to make it. They're only looking for $20,000. They've only been on for 2 days, and they already have $7,000. They're going to hit this and then some.
They're going to hit it, yeah.
Yeah, so let's play the video. Oh, yeah.
Classic arcade action of your favorite side-scrolling beat-em-up games like River City Ransom and Final Fight with the craziness and fun of your favorite anime convention. The official Otakon video game. Get excited. Studio Nasu is teaming up with Otakon to bring you something special for the con's 20th year. Introducing Crisis Heart Brawlers. Clash at Otakon. The official Otakon video game. Featuring multiplayer, side-scrolling beat-em-up arcade action across richly detailed anime-themed stages. Over 5 game modes, including team and free-for-all versus modes. Over 6 playable characters, including Otakon's mascots, Hiroshi and Hiroko, and Mega Tokyo's Ping.
Nice.
Beat up evil cosplayers, flip tables, drink ice-cold water. Experience the con the way you've always wanted to. Don't try this in real life, we're professionals. Crisis Heart Brawlers. Clash at Otakon. Coming soon.
Do freaking want.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. The fact they're including Ping is nice.
I heard about that a while back, and I had to keep it quiet, but it was like, really? I could play Ping in a video game? Awesome.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. There are other parts that I'm really kind of going, okay, this got a lot of potential here. But oh wow,
yeah, it's gonna
be fun to see what happens with it, and what they decide to do with the story. I like how the one stage looked amazingly like the facade of the convention center they hold Otakon at.
It looked like that, didn't
it's amazing
it?
how that works.
But they have a slew of voice actors to back them up if this gets funded, which I again have no doubt in that.
Right.
It's gonna be narrated by Callie Bear. They have Todd Haberkorn, Christina V. Johnny Young Bosch, and Johnny Young Bosch is doing double duty with his band Eyeshine doing the soundtrack. Mm-hmm. So you have a bunch of fan favorites backing this up. I want this game like now.
I'm definitely willing to give it a shake when it comes out. Give it a fair shake. Although there's one thing that kind of scares me when they were scrolling over the modes. Did you notice the second one from the bottom?
No, I didn't see it.
Dojin mode.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dojin mode with Ping.
What are 80% of and what are 80% of Dojin, my friend?
Good times.
Yeah.
Happy flowers. Let's call it Happy Flower time.
Happy flower. I believe in fan fiction circles it's called lemon.
Okay, yes. Let's see. They have a bunch of different levels you can pledge. I mean, $1 helps them out. If you pledge $15, which is really all that much, you get a digital copy of the game for PC or Mac when it comes out. Actually, months before it actually comes out for sale. So, yeah, they're looking at an estimated release of next March. $15 for a game like this.
You found a cosplay power-up if your character is male plus 5 cunning. Oh, that's funny.
And the fact that they have several, anime-themed levels, I'm sure there's plenty of video game puns in there as well, like the space level. I'm totally expecting to see some personality cubes in the back going, space!
Yeah. Between that and or giant mecha fighting off in the distance.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fantastic. So you guys can go on Kickstarter if you want to help them out. Just search for Otakon, and it comes up like I think the first 1 or 2 hits.
Yes.
Good
definitely
times.
Support it. Otakon are good people. So
yes, very much so. All right. Should we continue with video game news, or should we move on to some other stuff?
Let's talk about the return of an old favorite to Japan.
Ah, yes. I'm looking forward to this so much. Fuji TV has recently announced during one of their press conferences that in order to boost ratings, they are going to revive Iron Chef.
Yes!
Iron Chef is coming back to Japanese television. It's gonna be on Fridays at 8:00 p.m. in Japan. This needs to find some freaking way to get it stateside legally.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Now, the original, when it was brought over by, what was it, the Cooking Channel? Who had the license
Food
for
Network.
it? Food Network, my apologies. And when they brought it over, initially they were doing just subtitle, which I was just fine with. It's great to see what these chefs are making and how they're talking about it. But that wasn't enough. People were confused. People, again, get the whole I don't want to read subtitles on TV. I mean, whatever. So they dubbed it.
Yes.
Badly, but it was
But it was
hilarious.
fun.
It was. I mean, Sake-san, what are you doing there? I'm like, this does not. Okay, this is worse than some of the original Godzilla flicks.
Yes, intensely energetic, crappy dubs. Yes, very accurate. Very accurate, Tanuki. It's great. I'm wondering though if Iron Chef America will be losing Morimoto to this, or if he's going to double duty it.
I don't know.
Or if he'll even be part of it. See, here's the thing. Iron Chef, the original Iron Chef, I loved that show. Even though 80% of the time I wouldn't touch what they were cooking. Especially if it had anything remotely to do with fish due to allergies. So, but I still the show was fascinating to watch. The intensity they got into, the creativity they showed.
All within an hour.
Yeah, all within an hour. And then there was the crappy attempt at an American version that had William Shatner.
Yes, I almost forgot about that version.
As the chairman. That lasted for a whole 6 episodes. Especially when they had the one guy who was like the head chef at the Hard Rock and he did it a Star Trek theme for his meal, playing up to Shatner. And it's just like, oh God, no. And then Food Network did their version of it, which is good.
It's better. Yeah, I enjoy it.
I just personally can't stand Bobby Flay. Bobby Flay is I don't like his style. I don't like his food. I don't like his personality. Cat Core is good. Obviously Morimoto.
So you're hoping there would be like a crossover between
I'd be neat
America
to see some crossover. Just whatever you do not bring in Bobby Flay this time.
I wonder if Alton Brown will have any part in this. I doubt it.
Would be well if they're going to do it. I mean, you want someone who's knowledgeable but doesn't speak the language. Alton's the guy to go to, and he could help with the crossover quite a bit. I mean, I'd be shocked if Food Network hasn't already approached him and said, "Hey, we want to help, or we want to be part of this."
In any case, this series needs to come over in one form or another. I want to see if a new generation of chefs can live up to what the original version of the '90s had.
Well, and that would be really cool because the other neat thing about the original was they made the weird shit.
Yes, they did.
I mean, Battle Octopus, for example. All hentai jokes aside, I mean, you got to see how they're really prepared. I mean, it was a bad scene out of a schlock horror movie when they were doing Battle Octopus, he stuck the tentacles in the water and they were still going. It was. Oh my God, that was one of my favorite episodes ever.
Well, there was one that they had an octopus. They basically chopped most of its head off, but kept the brain stem. And I know there's another video online of other people doing this, but they did it in Iron Chef, one of the original ones. And they served it, and it's like, okay, cool, so you chop off the arms and you eat that way. But before they did that, they poured a bottle of soy sauce into the head. And because the salt interacted with the brainstem, all the muscles and everything started moving.
Oh my God!
So you see them like, I'm trying to cut this thing.
That reminds me of the monkey scene in Temple of Dumb. Wow, I fortunately missed that one.
I'll find a link for you. It's awesome.
That's kind of creepy.
So that's coming back, thankfully, to Japanese television and hopefully stateside. It'll get here one way or another.
I hope so, and I hope they don't screw with it. I mean, whatever you do, don't screw with the translation. Just do the straight. I mean, if you want to do the cheesy, energetic one, fine. Just make sure your information's accurate. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
No more turning Takeshi's Castle into. Oh God, what was that show? The American one that they took Takeshi's Castle, and they just said screw it, and made up their own scripts.
Oh. I remember it. I can't remember what they...
Most Extreme Challenge.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it was.
Had like
MXC.
Tony Hawk or something like that on it?
MXC.
MXC, yeah. There it is. There, yeah.
Yeah. No, Wipeout's an actual American show that's ripping off those shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was Most Extreme Challenge.
You know what Japanese show they need to bring back over here again? Was a Silent Library. I know MTV did a version for a while and it sucked horribly.
Well, it's because MTV went totally. Well, it was already pretty sophomoric.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
but MTV made it worse.
But yeah, the original was fantastic and it was funny as hell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
It was evil. Oh my God, Japanese game shows are evil.
yes, they are.
That's one of the great things about them.
They put their not the host, but they put all the participants through the freaking ringer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's all good. You can't do that over here just for the sole fact of lawsuits.
Well, yeah. Especially, I mean, America's way too Sue happy.
Yeah, it's stupid. So yeah, I'm hoping that has a cheesy English dub. But speaking of cheesy English dubs, I talked about this a little bit on Anna Break earlier this week about publisher G Kids is bringing Goro Miyazaki's From Up on Poppy Hill stateside. He has a pretty significant backing on this. Ghibli themselves are producing the English version. Not English sub, English dub.
Okay.
They have a couple of executive producers, like high quality executive producers, to come help them with this. Things like you may have heard, I don't know, nobody's called Kathleen Kennedy and Frank Marshall. Some of the biggest
Frank
names.
Marshall's behind this?
Yep.
Wow.
These people helped very tied in with Steven Spielberg and George Lucas and DreamWorks, and their names on what I would say.
Well, Frank Marshall's name goes all the way back to the classic sitcoms of the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, him and his daughter Penny. Yeah.
So they have that level. They have Gary Reinstrom, who worked on Titanic and Jurassic Park, directing the dub. And then we get to the voice actors and actresses. You have Chris Noth, Sarah Bolger. They've worked on stuff like Sex and the City and whatnot, so they have some sort of following.
Right.
But then you have Gillian Anderson from the X-Files taking over a role.
Gillian Anderson doing another Ghibli film. Awesome. And
to top it off, Ron Howard is actually the famous actor and director is going to play a role in this movie too.
Oh, sweet.
So you have a pretty, so far they've announced a pretty significant cast.
Although it's kind of a reuniting of Frank Marshall and Ron Howard, considering Frank Marshall created Happy Days.
I wonder if there'll be anything in the bloopers that'll signify that.
Are they going to make a joke about jumping the shark? Because that's where that came from.
So it's interesting that G Kids is throwing so much weight behind this. I think obviously they're trying for the Academy Award nod. They're going to release it for only a week in Hollywood and then do a wider release next March. But if they actually even get the nomination, that's a shot across the bow to Disney for all their dubs and distributions for Ghibli films stateside.
It's going to be interesting. Have they released when they're or where they're going to be showing it in Hollywood?
They just said the Los Angeles area, brief stint, just for qualification for the Academy Awards.
I wonder if they'll show it at the El Cap or the Egyptian. Actually, the El Cap will be Disney.
The El Cap will be Disney, so probably Egyptian, maybe
the Egyptian would be nice. That's a nice theater.
Maybe even one of the local ArcLights or something like that.
Yeah, ArcLight would be good.
Or the Cinematheque, the Dome.
Cinema Dome?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cinema Dome would be nice.
So when they announce the actual dates for this, I know I'll be buying a ticket. I'm sure you'll be doing the same thing.
We will probably all get tickets and go.
Oh yes, definitely. So it's cool to see. It's not just Disney bringing Ghibli over, which means hopefully we'll have a better chance of seeing more Ghibli and even more anime films stateside in theaters.
Well, yeah, Disney seems to focus on specifically Hayao Miyazaki's titles.
Yeah.
Which, until Junior establishes himself, because wasn't his first film a flop?
Oh God, don't remind me. That thing was horrible.
Yeah. So
yeah, Tales from Earthsea.
If he can actually if he can prove that he can actually do something, establish himself. It's like when we talked about this last time. It's maybe it's his dad saying, "Okay, I'm going to give you a shot. Don't F it up."
And he's still helping him out in the sense that Hayao Miyazaki actually wrote the script for this film, so
which gives it more points.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with this. But shall we move from? Well, we still have three more things about movies. I keep on forgetting about those.
Yeah, let's say the movie section towards the end here.
Let's talk about what happened today.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's go to that one.
Yeah.
The AVS. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was up really late last night, and then I woke up like around noon. So I was thinking, okay, I got plenty of time to prepare for the show and do some things and go on a walk and whatnot. And then I hear, oh my God, get online right now. They're going to announce the verdict. I'm like, what? So for the past couple weeks, Apple's been going against Samsung about patent infringements and whatnot.
Okay. The case is that the actual court case started in the last couple weeks. They've been going after them for years, trying to get them in court.
Thank you for the correction. Yeah. So this is the most recent of their battle. I should say. The jury was just sent off for deliberations Wednesday. This should have been going on for they predicted a week and a half because there's so much stuff going on.
Right.
I mean, I think there was over 20 pages of questions they had to answer in order to get a verdict. And so they actually came out at 2:35 today. So they had less than 2 days, or less than 3 days, I should say, to make a decision on this.
Well, it's not that they had that. That's all it took.
Yeah. Okay, good point on that. And it was surprising. It was very surprising. I was fully expecting Samsung to win at least a majority of this for the sole fact that, Apple's lawyers are always out to sue everybody and everything that moves.
That's true.
So I was hoping for someone to put Apple's lawyers in their place. Because, I mean, how can anybody, patent a shape, a rounded rectangle? How can you patent that?
2 words. Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, okay, good point. So then the jury comes out and they announced that Apple was right in almost every single part of this case. And they announced, and I know Apple was initially looking for Samsung for upwards of $2.5 billion in damages. The jury awarded Apple $1 billion in damages. And I was going to say a little clip there.
I was going to say, you should have fired that little clip up.
Yes, they actually wanted
$100 billion.
Yeah, so
yeah, well, so it's kind of a spank. It's a spank to Apple partially, in that sense of okay, yeah, you've got some valid points here, but you're not going to get everything you freaking asked for. Because what's weird is where they did the cutoff.
It was the jury announced all the patent infringements about Samsung's phones. Those were infringing. It was surprising when it spun around when they got to the tablets and the jury said, nope, it's all fine.
Yeah. So anybody making rectangular, rounded corner phones now owes Apple money.
Yeah.
And I mean not just Samsung, everybody. Nokia, Motorola. It's okay, so basically all phones belong to Apple, which is
tablets still technically a so-called free market, but phones, it's now
what happens. What's going to happen when how much you want to bet all the new phones are going to be slightly trapezoidal? Or they're going to have the Octophone with this new spokesperson, Octomom, for the Octophone.
All I'm saying is flip phones will make a comeback. They'll have that clamshell once again.
Hey, clamshells are pretty awesome.
Yes, very much so. So that was surprising as all hell. So basically, essentially, if you build a phone that's rounded rectangular shape, you owe Apple money.
Well, yeah, there's a lot more to it though than that, because they were also going after camera designs.
Even the swipe layout. So even the fact of just moving your finger across in a certain direction,
to switch
a certain
screens.
way, that was a patent that they so-called infringed. The fact that
didn't they go after the Gorilla Glass too?
I don't remember if they went after the Gorilla Glass or not. There was so much that there's 20 to 30 pages that I had to go through to try to figure out what actually went with what. So, and of course there'll be appeals after appeals after appeals. So this will be caught up, like I said, forever. Yeah. But this is only a precursor.
And actually, I don't think it's going to do anything against to answer Kenshin 77's comment in the chat room. I don't think it's going to take out Android phones. If anything, honestly, I think it's going to strengthen them.
Oh yeah,
because the community is going to band together and say, "F you, Apple, we're going to go against you." And like I said, maybe they'll just go with trapezoidal phones. But If anything's going to galvanize the Android community, honestly, I think it's this.
Well, not to mention that there was
Especially
another.
now that tablets are off too.
Yeah, but there was another lawsuit that was actually filed 2 days ago. Actually, 3 days ago. Google's going after Apple now.
Yes.
Like I said, Samsung and Apple, that was just a precursor to this mother of all cases. That one's going to be... I mean, this one was talking about hardware manufacturers and some small designs on the phones themselves.
Right.
This next one for Google versus Apple, that's going to be the which OS comes out at a knockdown, drag out fight.
Oh, really? So it's going to be it's going to be Android versus it's going to be Android OS versus iOS.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is going to be a nasty one.
Yeah, that's going to be a brawl. That's going to be a freaking brawl.
Very, very glad that I will not be part of that jury.
Yeah, really. Thank God we don't live in San Francisco yet.
But of course, I can imagine being in the for jury selection you picked up. Sir, what do you normally use? Do you normally use iOS devices, or do you like to use like Windows or Android and whatnot? Your Honor, I'm sorry, I use Linux.
And you know what? They're going to Linux would probably be a get out of jail free card because
It probably would be. 99%
of Linux users hate Apple. Okay, that's a stat made up.
Now, notice
large percentage.
Now notice that throughout of all of this, it's always been Apple versus Samsung or Apple versus Android.
Because
Microsoft is never attached put into these cases at all, because Microsoft played it. And I guess you can play it safe or play it smart. You can pick, but a lot of stuff that Microsoft does, especially with their phones and now with their upcoming Surface tablet, very similar to what the iPad looks like and how it actually works. That's because Microsoft licensed the patents from Apple. They're paying out the ass for them, but they're not going to get sued.
Well, yeah, but doesn't that go back to the however many was it like a 500 million cash infusion?
Something like that, yeah.
That Gates did before he left to Apple to kind of keep them going.
Well, at the same point, Steve Jobs had that classic thing about he wanted to have thermonuclear war against Google for this stuff, and maybe this was just part of that. An enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, that's possible.
That could be
That's very possible.
So
we'll see. Was it 256 million? I thought it was 500. Nightstar says it was 256.
Oh, when Apple... Yeah, okay, yeah, I think he's right.
Okay, if it was 256, well, it was an extremely large sum of money, especially for that time. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see where this goes.
Yeah.
Do we want to hit on one more game thing before we go into the movie section, which is going to finish out the show?
Yeah.
Kotaku, this afternoon, released an article saying that the MMO is dead. Obviously, many players of WoW, myself included, are like, excuse me? What flavor's the crack you're smoking? But the article goes on to say that the age of subscription MMOs is finally waning completely. All the statistics are pointing to free-to-play being the wave of the future, if you will, with microtransactions and whatnot. It's a really good article. It's not surprising. I think that WoW is probably gonna be the last holdout in the subscription market. I know we talked about this brief. I think so, because we talked about it. Well, okay, WoW and Eve, because Eve's got an extremely dedicated player base.
Yes.
But I think I just saw the other day that EQ2 is free to play now. EQ1's isn't. The EQ2, there's a free to play option with it now. I haven't looked into it too deeply because I tried EQ2 and I was completely unimpressed. I don't care if they've got cat people; still was not impressed. But Ultima, I think UO is still going.
Ultima Online is still going on, yeah.
EQ1, Eve, and Eve and WoW are the two biggies in that space. Rift is trying. I think there's rumor that Rift's going to go free to play if it hasn't already.
Now, my question to you is, do you agree that it should go free to play, or should I stick with the subscription model?
It depends. What are you going to get out of it? by that I mean, like okay, the way BioWare's doing it with SWTOR, is they're doing it free to play, gets you access to most of the content, and you can feasibly hit max level without ever buying a subscription.
Okay.
But if you subscribe, you get more of the story, access to more areas, access to rating, which I
You're
personally...
paying for more. You're paying for that bonus premium stuff.
You're paying for premium content, but you can still make it through without it. I think that is probably, of the models I'm seeing right now, I think that's the most realistic one.
Okay.
Because that way you get your money to finance new content and continue the development cycle that I just think that's a better way to go.
Unfortunately, I think the way it's probably going to go, I mean, I'm actually a fan of free-to-play.
Oh,
And the way you're talking about how it has like a premium subscription service, I agree with it. That should be the way it should go above and beyond, the first like 20 levels of a game or something like that. But the way I see it going forward is going to be, it's the world of microtransactions.
oh yeah.
It's no longer going to be like a subscription. You're going to pay, be nickel and dime, which will end up turning into be hundreds of dollars every single year.
Well, yeah. I mean, DCUO made increased their profits by $700 million when they went free to play.
Jeez.
I mean, it's there's no arguing the numbers. The problem is, how are they going to nickel and dime you? Are they going to do like what some other MMOs have done, where the Pirates of the Caribbean was one example, where you had to pay to finish a critical quest.
Okay, that's just bull.
That's like, excuse me, F you.
Yeah.
And the thing about SWTOR is it's not just the first 20 levels. You can conceivably reach endgame without having a subscription. You can hit all the way to level 50.
It just takes a significant amount of time.
It takes. I won't know until it actually hits in November. But it takes a chunk of time. But it's not. It's not impossible. It's going to take you longer, potentially, though not extremely longer. But you also get more depth with the subscription model, I think. So all your min-maxers will be happy. But those of us who like story, like exploration, and are willing to pay for good story,
As long as I can buy my hats. Wait.
God, those freaking hats in Fortress 2. It's
Hey,
scary.
I'm enjoying Team Fortress 2 still.
Have you seen that video where the one guy they took the movie maker and they took the heavy scene and they gave him like 16 hats?
No, I haven't. I need to check that
Oh,
out.
it's one of the sample videos of what fans did with the Steam movie maker.
Okay.
Where they took the sequence of Meet the Heavy and they just had him talking, and as he was talking, more hats kept getting piled on and on and on and on and on.
Okay.
Until he's got like a bajillion hats. It's just a body and hats.
That pretty much justifies Team Fortress 2's microtransactions in a nutshell. Yeah, basically.
It's weird what people will pay for.
It's still fun, though.
Although, if we can find a way for Team Fortress 2 to let me import characters, like if it'll let me import custom models, there's this neat little program called XNA Lara.
Yes.
That people have been exporting all sorts of stuff, especially Tomb Raider and, of late, Mass Effect characters.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, they've been. It's not for money. Nobody gets paid for this. Fans just doing it to do it.
Is there a Tisol model that out there? Have you seen one?
Who's Tisol?
Liana?
Liara?
Liara, yeah. Sorry, I said Liana.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes. In fact, there are naked models of her if you really want them.
Why am I not surprised?
But yeah, no, they basically use. I'm guessing they use another program, probably DX Ripper or one of those, to where they literally extract the models from the game, usually by capturing it from the buffer on the video card, and then doing a snapshot of that. But there are other ways
you might
to do
need
it
to
as
put
well.
together a little like preview of what you can do with XNA Lara for a future episode.
I can neither confirm nor deny the existence of a large collection of XNA models. Now, if I could find a way to import them into Poser, that would be a whole different story.
Okay, yeah, good point. Yes.
Right now, you can export them to Blender, but there's a trick to do it, but I don't know Blender well enough. I barely have. I mean, I have Blender, but I don't know it that well.
Okay.
But we're tangenting again. Although
Yes, we are.
speaking of models and modeling, which kind of ties in. Do you have that picture?
I do.
The one that I showed
do.
you? Bring that puppy up. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the new Ed 209 from the new RoboCop. I'm kind of scared about the RoboCop reboot, but this is a pretty badass update on the Ed 209.
Well, sadly, it's the only good news that's come out recently from about.
That's
RoboCop.
true. That's true. The bad news is that apparently, I didn't even know he was in negotiation for it, but apparently Hugh Laurie will not be in the RoboCop remake.
Damn it, that would have been awesome.
It would be really nice to see him do the whole cantankerous House character with the with an English accent this time, because he is British. Basically, House is a bad guy. And with a British accent,
Which is
because
not
all the good bad guys have British
too far of a
accents.
stretch. So
Yeah, no, it's not. But yeah, he was apparently they were in talk. He was never actually contracted, according to the article. They were in talks with him to be the new villain for the new RoboCop movie. Apparently that has fallen through. Damn. Which is kind of sad, because I think that could be really awesome, especially if they keep the whole, I'll buy that for $1 over the topness that was in the original RoboCop. Although, have you seen the pics of the new RoboCop model?
I haven't. No. I'll look for them in the post show.
Think Raiden meets Tron without the glowing lines.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very angular, kind of like Raiden in Guns of the Patriots.
Okay. Then I will definitely have to check this out.
We'll see if we can find a picture and show you guys next week. It's
or while we're talking, chat room, find one, please.
Do you want me to go find one?
Or the people in the chat room can find one.
You know what? During the next trailer, I'll go see if I can find one, because there are a couple really badass movies coming out.
Yes.
Which one do you want to start with?
Well, you have the Kung Fu one, and then you have the Kung Fu one. I mean,
no, we have the Kung Fu one and the Kung Fu with Steampunk one.
Let's save that one for last.
Okay, but let's go with the first.
Let's show this first one. This one, it's co-written by the RZA RZA from Wu-Tang Clan and Eli Roth, which has done some pretty messed up movies in the past.
Oh, but that's not the best part. Who's the executive producer, Jason?
Quentin Tarantino.
That's right.
It's going to be awesome. But enough of us talking about this. Let's show this trailer. It is a Red Band trailer, just giving you a heads up. But
there will be swearing and possibly naughty bits. I don't remember.
And tons of blood. And Lucy Liu. So enjoy.
And Lucy Liu.
Do want.
Awesome!
Yeah, that's going to be just a popcorn
badass.
flick. It's going to be awesome.
That is going to be a total badass popcorn flick.
And I thought that was going to be like the only really good, martial arts flick that we might see this year stateside. Nope. This other movie just came to my attention earlier today. And let me read the synopsis for you to give you an idea of what to expect. All right, so in the legendary Chen village, everyone is a martial arts master and uses a powerful form of Tai Chi in all aspects of their life. Okay. Yang has arrived to try and learn it, only to find that it's forbidden for the villagers to teach their secret style to an outsider. Okay. But when a mysterious man comes to town with a frightening, here's the best part, steam-powered machine and plans to build a railroad through the village, the villagers realize they may have no choice but to put their faith in Yang, who has a secret power of his own. We have a steampunk kung fu flick.
Kung Flu?
Kung fu.
Kung Flu.
Okay. Quit talking about my English. Yeah. Steampunk kung fu flick.
Looks pretty badass.
Yeah.
Roll the trailer, then we'll talk about both of them.
All right. Win, win, and full of win.
Also known as What Happens When Hong Kong Action Stars
Yeah.
Watch 300. Because that one scene looks straight out of 300, just with Asians instead of Persians and Spartans.
Holy crap. So between the two, they obviously have like a different feel. It's
I like the brass version of Colossus in the Quentin Tarantino one.
I was wondering how they're gonna start adding some of those characters into it.
It's like I saw the one guy, I'm like, oh look, it's Colossus, only brass and Asian, so it's yellow Colossus. Okay,
Yes.
I'm down with that.
And the thing was surprising. It wasn't surprising that they had, of course, Rizzo's in there as a character. He has the brass knuckles, and that was kind of cool. But then, I completely blanked on his name real quick. The Australian actor that was in there.
Oh, Russell Crowe.
Yeah, Russell Crowe. That came out of left field.
But crazy ass Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
I mean,
who knows? Maybe just the fact that you had Quentin Tarantino tied to this film that he's like, you know what, I could do this. We could see. The other one, on the other hand, the fact that they add steampunk to the film just makes it so much better in my eyes. And it seems much more, I don't want to say of a pure kung fu flick, but it has a more, a closer feel to what people generally consider to be a martial arts flick.
yeah, no, it's nice to see them taking the old formulas and mixing them up.
Yeah. And that one comes out sooner than Man with the Iron Fist. That Tai Chi Zero comes out October 19th this year, stateside.
Yeah.
Now, I'm
Is
not
that going to
expecting.
get wide distribution, or is that going to be limited release?
It doesn't really say. I'm sure we'll be able to find it at some of the more larger locations. Like if you're in Southern California, you'll probably see it maybe at the Block in Orange or larger metropolitan areas. If you're out farther in the suburbs, probably not. But if you can find it,
Well, I'm in
go check it out.
Ventura, so it's...
That's true. You're closer to the central, so.
Well, Thousand Oaks has got some really cool stuff on it. Okay. So someone in the chat room, changing slightly, back to RoboCop for a minute. Go ahead and show the image I sent you.
Yes.
And then Otaku Update in the chat room found a link to a YouTube trailer, which points to a website for the new show. And yes, that is the other one, the Ed 209. That is the final design.
Oh, it is the final design.
It is. It's on the website.
Nice.
Let me show you what I mean here.
Now, should I show that trailer as well, or?
If you want to, if you guys in the chat room want to see it, I'm willing to go a little long to show it.
Why not?
There's a website that it points to in the chat. The thing is, there's hello, there's breaking news in the upper right corner. This website's got potential here.
What do you got? Omnicorp. Let me grab that real quick. This is why I love having a live chat, because they can actually find stuff that we can't find ourselves.
Show it. Ignore
All
the
right.
Fry's commercial banner in the bottom. Just
I'm getting the trailer up right here for you, so. Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Now go to the website,
Okay, I'm at the website.
and there's your Ed 209.
Let me shrink it down a little so I can get in the shot.
So that is the actual Ed 209 design.
That's nice.
That's kind of badass. It's kind of like Ed 209 meets Cylon.
Safety, conviction, leadership.
Yeah.
Okay, the fact that they had this website, I'm fully expecting a very in-depth ARG to go along with this.
Yeah, I want to know what's up with the breaking. Okay, it's not giving you any audio for the breaking news in the upper right corner, unfortunately. There's a little breaking
Oh
news
yeah,
up
I
there.
see that, yeah. That little thing right there.
Okay, we're geeking out. Tangent, hello.
Hey, that's fine though. It's all good.
Oh, thank
It's
you
just like
very
when we
much
find this,
to,
it's doesn't matter
Thank you,
when.
Otaku Update, for pointing that out to us.
Yes, thank you very
that's cool.
much. Oh, okay, I'll have to check that out a little more in depth after the show.
Yeah, no, totally awesome.
But that's pretty much everything we had to talk about for this episode. It was very movie-centric, but you know what? That's perfectly fine every once in a while. We talk about everything nerd anyway, so...
That's true. And it's not a good show if we don't nerd out about something.
Damn straight.
So, you want to wrap this up and then go... We're doing a post-show tonight, right?
We are going to do a post-show.
All right.
Let me get this
Breaking news, Officer Murphy's been shot several times. Oh, is that what it's saying?
Huh. So they're already, like, planting the seeds of... Okay. I can get behind that.
That's got the potential to be
Sorry.
awesome. No, it's just I'm looking forward to it.
Stupid computer. I hate my computer sometimes.
They will one day rule the world.
Yes, they will. Just hopefully it's not Apple.
No. Stop teasing us with the outro. Oh, you want us gone that bad, huh?
Oh, okay. Well, I can put on other stuff. I mean, I could put on Cockneys versus Zombies again.
No. Let's do that post show.
All right, we'll do that post show. So.
Have you tried rebooting? Thanks to Nikki. Hold up. That was actually Skynet versus RoboCop was a comic series.
Really?
Oh yeah, you never heard about that? Terminator versus RoboCop?
No.
Oh, dude. Okay, we'll talk about that one in post show.
Geek out in post show. Okay.
We're gonna geek out in post show because I've read that. It's pretty well done.
All right. Well, as always, you can catch us. You can follow me on OtakuLife Jason. That's gonna be for Twitter and for Facebook. And of course,
you can follow me at Digital Panther, which is I don't post a lot there. I do every now and then, but I'm not a big Twitter file. I do most of my stuff on Facebook, which most of my stuff's public. So it's facebook.com/Digital Panther works as well.
And always, you can check out OtakuLife.net for articles about what we like to discuss. I know Nikki just really posted one today about
how to fix bent
figures, which I need because I have a figure that's bending that way. So I'm going to use those tips probably tonight.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So, all right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We'll have a post show and from my mother's basement. I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
And we will see you next week. Night, everybody.
Bye.